Hey, welcome back. This is episode 39 of the Salesforce Consumer Goods Cloud TPM Learning Series. Today, multi-currency architecture in CG Cloud TPM, mastering global exchange rates and off-platform conversion engine. Let's get into it. Here's what we're covering today. The multi-currency challenge in global CPG brands then, Salesforce Core versus off-platform processing services realignment then, dated conversion rate mapping and exchange rate synchronization then, JSON payload structures for off-platform currency tables then, writeback patterns and ledger rounding best practices. Stay for the last one, it's the piece most tutorials miss. Let me explain this simply. Welcome back, team. Today we are tackling one of the most complex topics in global trade planning, multi-currency architecture. We will look at how to align Salesforce Core currencies with the off-platform processing services calculation engine.
This is crucial. How do we prevent floating daily exchange rate fluctuations from completely breaking our historical promotion P&Ls and corporate budgets?
Imagine you are a global CPG giant like Unilever. Your marketing team in Canada plans promotions in Canadian dollars, but your corporate headquarters in the US measures everything in USD. In CG Cloud TPM, managing these overlapping financial layers without causing massive calculation errors is a supreme architectural challenge. Today, we are going to demystify how the platform bridges the gap between local retail execution and global financial reporting, ensuring that every cent is accounted for across different currencies. Now, let's talk about the integration bridge between Salesforce Core and the off-platform processing services. Salesforce Core uses native advanced multi-currency, but the off-platform KPI calculation engine needs to know these conversion rates in real time to compute complex P&L grids. When a calculation is triggered, TPM synchronizes active exchange rates from the core database directly to the off-platform memory cache. This ensures that when your calculation running on Hyperforce does the math, it uses the exact same rates as your CRM. How does the system actually know which KPIs need currency conversion? It all comes down to the KPI definition metadata in your TPM configuration. When you configure a KPI, such as off-invoice promo spend, you must explicitly tag its data type as currency and define its conversion rules. If you set it to use the promotion currency, the processing engine automatically applies the correct exchange. Let's look at how the off-platform engine actually receives this exchange rate data via API payloads. When a user changes a promotion, the transaction payload contains a specific exchange rates block mapping active currency ISO codes. For example, the JSON node might look like exchange rates, CAD, first .35, Euro, 0.92, relative to USD. The processing service reads this metadata block, caches it for the execution thread, and instantly processes multi-currency row rollups. Let's trace a concrete example of promotion-level currency conversion. Suppose a Canadian account manager creates a promotion with a $10,000 Canadian budget, but the parent account is in USD. TPM uses the promotion start date to fetch the conversion rate, let's say 0.75 USD per CAD. The off-platform engine dynamically processes the 10,000 CAD, calculates a 7,500 USD impact on the parent budget, and returns both values to the user interface. Writing back this multi-currency data to Salesforce Core requires precise mapping to prevent dirty database states. When calculations complete, the writeback engine serializes the calculated values and saves them into the promotion_measure_value_C table. It writes the value in local currency but also stores the converted corporate currency value. This double-entry database architecture ensures that standard Salesforce reports can easily aggregate global data without triggering real-time conversions. What happens when exchange rates change mid-year? This is where many architects get tripped up and accidentally break their financial ledgers. In TPM, you must use static date effective exchange rates rather than floating current rates. If you recalculated a completed Q1 promotion with Q4 exchange rates, your historical P&L would shift, causing compliance issues. By locking exchange rates to the promotion's approval date, you guarantee that historical records remain completely accurate. To build a bulletproof multi-currency architecture, you must follow 3 golden rules. First, always configure the native DatedConversionRate object in Salesforce Core as your single source of truth. Second, keep your off-platform payload size light by only sending exchange rates for active project currencies. Lastly, handle rounding discrepancies by keeping your precision settings at 6 decimal places during off-platform processing, only rounding to 2 decimals during writebacks. Alright, let's wrap up. Here are the key things to remember. Always synchronize DatedConversionRate from Salesforce Core to the off-platform processing service. Configure KPI definitions with explicit currency mapping context, promotion, customer, or corporate. Lock exchange rates based on promotion status dates to protect historical financial integrity. Persist both local and corporate currencies in the database to optimize native Salesforce reporting. If this helped, hit like, it really helps the channel. Next up, TPM promotion allocation engine, split level loading and multi-category distribution mechanics. See you tomorrow.